The simplest definition of spam is just any email that you receive that you don't actually want to receive. But since each user has a different definition on what emails they want to receive, anti-spam has to be prepared to draw different lines for each user. This video will go into ways that we make it possible for every user to customize their level of threshold, their block and pass lists, and other filters and evaluations that happen in order to screen out emails you do not want to receive from the ones that you do want to receive. There are two main ways that anti-spam filters the emails we receive. The first one is looking at the technical aspects of the email. What server did it come from? What is the configuration of the server? What information do we know about the sending server? And the email, how is it structured? What sort of format is it in? Does it compare in some sort of way with known spam? And are there clues inside the email content itself that indicate whether the email is spam or if the email is actually legit? Are there keywords or links that go to known bad websites? Anti-spam email security starts working the moment that another server gets in contact with our servers wanting to send an email. We evaluate the server that is trying to send it. Does it have a bad history with us? Has it been trying to send too many emails in too short of a period of time? Are there other traits that indicate that this server could be a spam server instead of an actual legitimate one? If we're convinced that it's legit in some fashion, we will connect and accept the email. The email then goes through the virus filter. It is updated continuously throughout the day with new definitions and rules on what emails are safe and which ones are suspect. Next come the block and pass lists. This is where any email that matches entries that you've put in the block and pass list are sent either to your email server because they passed, or they are blocked and sent to the anti-spam sideline. This is very powerful because notice this happens before any other spam filtering evaluation is done. The various spam filters are the next layer of defense provided by anti-spam. These filters range from various tests provided by Spam Assassin and in-house anti-spam tests, filters that are enabled in order to block an email that contains certain file types, other filters that are available that you can block emails that come from certain locations, and you can adjust the threshold in which an email is considered either spam or ham to be sent along to your inbox. All up to you. Let's take a quick look at some of the anti-spam settings available to you. In the filter settings area, the first one is going to be the junk sideline threshold. This is where you can set a marker on where that line is between an email being judged as spam or as ham that should be sent onto your inbox. After that are some customizations for the sideline display. How high, how bad of a spam do you want to be able to see in the sideline to possibly send on to yourself? Whether or not you have the spam and virus filter enabled. You can sideline emails that have executable attachments just in case they are infected. There are other attachments that you can decide whether or not you want to have them filtered out. There's the capability to cut out any emails that have character sets that are non-Latin characters. For instance, Russian or Asian emails that are in a language that you won't be able to read anyways, so why take them in? The other options here include location filters, and then you can choose whether or not to receive an email that lists all the emails that are in your sideline list on anti-spam. You can get that any day of the week. There are also some account information settings that you can put in. You can have aliases for an address. You could lock down an address so that only emails that have certain passwords are allowed to get through the anti-spam filter and to the inbox. Or you can have it so that only emails that match a pass list are able to get to an inbox. This is frequently used in tandem with the child address settings. Imagine you have a child as an email address list. You don't want that child going in and taking a look at the spam that has been sidelined, and maybe you want to lock down that address in order for the child to only receive certain specific emails. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I go into anti-spam's email security training, I just want to check my email real fast. I got this email from my insurance company, and apparently there's some sort of document I need to look at. So I'm sorry. Just give me just a minute. I'll take a look at this, and then we'll get into talking about email security training, or EST. Um, oh, well, apparently that wasn't an email from USA, my insurance company. Yes, it was in fact one of the EST emails. What EST does is that we try to teach the users how to identify emails that are not what they seem. Rather than a customer clicking on an email that goes to a malicious website or has a malware on it as an attachment or whatever, we try to create these dummy emails that we send out to the EST customers. And if you click on the link, instead of being taken to a bad site, you are actually taken to a site that teaches you about that email, gives you clues that you could have noticed on the email had you taken the moment to take a look. Um, Stuff like USAA and most insurance companies have an excellent security check talking about this sub area. Had I really paid attention and noticed that, those four numbers are not the last four numbers for my USAA account. Or if I click on here, it'll show me that I could hover over these, and at the bottom it will show the URL that the link actually goes to. And as you can see at the bottom of this, down here at the footer, these links actually go to asust.xyz, which is obviously not USAA. The page also includes some clues that are in the email header. And if you click on these things, it just highlights the area to help you figure out what these instructions at the top are talking about. And of course, at the bottom of every one of these, we want to get feedback on how well we did on teaching that lesson. So we have a feedback form there. So what EST does is send out these various, let's call them decoy emails, and they're sent out at random periods of time for a random length of time to the various customers that are signed up in order to teach them in the process of going through the inboxes what emails are legit and what emails are not legit. Hopefully a person never clicks on these and they never score any negative points towards them. But if they happen to do that, then hopefully it is a learning experience and they don't click on an email that is similar to that actually is malicious. AnteSpam can help you avoid the trouble that can come from an accidentally deleted email. It happens sometimes, and there's just no way to find another one unless you have a backup of all of the emails that you've received. Well, we can do that for variable time ranges for different prices. 7 days, 14 days, all the way up to 93 days of being able to go back and find a good copy of an email. And this doesn't have to be for every address in a domain. It can be only for particular addresses that may receive sensitive information that need to be stored. AnteSpam can also help protect your domain's reputation with outbound filtering. So what happens if a computer that connects to your email network gets infected by a virus or some sort of malware and starts shooting out email and spam like crazy? With outbound filtering, just like inbound filtering, email comes through the AnteSpam system when it's sent out from one of your domain addresses, and we will trigger whenever there is a virus or spam detected. An email will be sent to an admin person or the person who sent the email saying, hey, we think that this may be virus or spam. Or there are times that an address may send out high levels of emails, just hundreds and hundreds of emails, and those could be triggered by a virus or malware. The domain admin and the person who's supposed to have sent it will be notified and give them a chance to keep it quarantined or send it along. Finally, let me briefly mention that there are ways that you can earn some credit and income using AnteSpam. The first way is by customer referral. If a new customer says that you referred them, then you will receive a percentage of their on-time payments as long as they are an AnteSpam customer. Hey, how about that? Or another way is by being a channel partner, where you resell AnteSpam. You buy it at wholesale price and then charge your customer whatever retail price you think is competitive and affordable for your business model. Now please, if you want to learn a lot more, go to antespam.com to learn about how you can refer people or become a channel partner for AnteSpam.